Hello. Hopefully, this is working. Maybe. Sorry about the completely random, trying to get everything else to work thing, but here we are. Flames on the sides of my face, basically. But, we're gonna try to see what's going on. When last we left off, we stole the sword from asshole dude's safe, but it was broken. And the chapter ended, and the start of the next chapter is basically we're in Anne's lab, and she's about to tell us what's going on. So here we are. Let's see what we find out. All right. Continue.
So, I called you all here to talk about what I've discovered.
Okay, Anne, what have you discovered? After you return from your successful heist, you decide to lay low for a bit to recover and go through the evidence you've uncovered. When Anne eventually calls a meeting, you enter her lab to find the place plastered with notes and drawings. The mage is holding a cup of strong-smelling coffee, and her voice seems a tad more on the shrill side than usual.
So,
I have been examining this map we found at Goldner's mansion, and am confident in my initial theory that the underground of the mine is, in fact, a giant seal keeping these demons trapped. Ack. The positive news is that the seal is so massive that the damage is only minimal, which is why we've only seen a few demons leak out into the town.
Oh, really?
Michael says, I think we've encountered, 4 of these things so far? I wouldn't call that minimal. Anne, boy, do I have bad news for you then. The massive scale of the seal suggests that there are many, many more demons lying in wait on the other side, ready to be let loose. Victoria. ... Victoria shifts her stance slightly, looking uncomfortable.
I just don't understand.
Caden. When I told Goldner that the mining was disrupting the seal, he refused to believe me, but it turns out he had this map proving it all along.
You'd be surprised how many people are able to bend their own reality to pretend they are not doing anything wrong.
Michael. He probably thinks this is all some big mage conspiracy. Anne. He was trying to get the knights to come and investigate. Victoria. They won't come. Anne. What? Victoria. Alethea and the Paragon himself are determined to keep this under wraps. More knights would complicate this.
I can't believe this.
Caden. They can't just turn a blind eye to what's happening here and expect it to go away.
They're not.
Victoria. They're not.
They're waiting for us to fix it for them.
Yeah.
How does this...
Caden. But why take this risk? What are they afraid of?
About that.
Victoria. I don't know, but I intend to find out. Her tone makes everyone pause. Not even Michael dares to comment. Victoria. But that's for me to figure out. Anne, please continue.
that's not all.
Anne. So yeah, getting back on topic. Caden's idea of fixing the broken part of the seal still seems like our safest bet, but knowing what we do now about the sheer scale of this seal, it's clear that he never had the power needed to repair it. I mean, the entire valley is all just part of this huge spell. A single dragon sword isn't gonna cut it. Caden. What are you saying? Anne. I'm saying you're pretty lucky that Miner interrupted you when he did, because the ritual would have never worked in the first place. Most likely, the sword would have had its power sucked out completely, and the spell would have taken your life force with it before doing Alethros knows what to the surrounding area. Instead, it rebounded and drew its missing energy from another power source, basically sucking it through the roots like a straw.
Oh.
The forest.
I don't understand.
Caden, what are you talking
I
about?
see.
Michael, a big part of the woods had its life force drained from it all of a sudden. Seems like it was caused by your ritual. Ew. So we can be surprised, sad, or joking. Let's be surprised.
Really?
Wait, what? So Caden was the one behind the wilting of the forest? Caden, ... Caden gets up and abruptly storms out of the shop. Victoria, hey, wait, you can't just... Victoria gets up to follow, but Michael puts a hand on her shoulder, halting her. Let him go. He needs a moment to let that one settle. Even in this state, he's no fool. He won't get caught again. Victoria makes a noise that I'm not going to try to repeat or describe. Victoria shrugs off his hand, but stays put for now.
Look,
Michael, you should probably go talk with him later, Anna. Though for now, we really should figure out what to do.
About that.
Victoria, right. Anne, what would you suggest? Is there a way to fix a seal this big? Anne, it's not going to be easy. I still need to study the seal in more detail. I am certain of one thing, though. Whatever ritual we might end up using, it's going to need power. Like, a lot of it. And that's where our dear alchemist friend comes in. Confused, determined, joking. Let's be determined.
So?
I am ready. Just tell me what to do.
So.
Anne, I mentioned to you earlier that your spirit locket is quite special. The power it possesses grows stronger every time you seal away another demon, but you haven't yet accessed that power, and I'm starting to understand why. It's missing something, a few key components, to connect to the mechanism. It's quite odd, actually. It's almost like they used to be there, but have since been removed. I could take a closer look and build the missing pieces, but then we would still need... Victoria, more demons? Anne, exactly. The main issue is a simple lack of power. Okay, wait, so is this game saying I have to go hunt demons so that I can seal away demons? Anne, we need more demons to fuel the spell needed for this.
Got it.
Victoria, how many?
Let me take a look.
Well, Anne, Anna already captured 4 demons. One more of the same size as the others might do the trick, though I could make a more precise calculation for you.
So that's how it is.
Victoria, that won't be needed. We know what we have to do. Victoria's sharp eyes zero in on you, and you swallow.
This is it.
It's clear what must be done then.
Not bad.
Victoria, I'm glad you see it that way.
This is the plan.
The hunt begins in the morning. You better rest up and prepare.
Actually,
Anne, I would also like a bit of your time soon. There's still much to learn about your locket, and I'm eager to get started. Mom, so much for getting some rest. It's right back into the fire for us. The meeting concludes, and everyone walks off to do their separate things. There is no sign of Kate.
hear me out.
Mime, I'm kind of worried. I think we should go look for him. Yeah. I agree. He shouldn't be out there alone. I am worried.
Let's go.
Let's go find him. Come on. All right. The forest is ominously quiet at night, and Mime is walking very close to you as you step between the dead trees. Eventually, you spot the familiar glow of Caden's markings. He's standing by one of the dead trees, deep in thought. Then he turns around and punches the trunk, and it cracks, leaving a deep dent in the dry wood. Mime, okay. Maybe you should be the one talking to him. Yes, one person is probably best. I'll just be standing over here. Whatever protest you had doesn't matter, because Mime's already gone. Nothing to do but approach him on your own. You walk up to him carefully.
So,
Hey there, Caden. Are you all right? Caden whips around to face you, visibly startled.
Huh?
What are you doing? Sorry, I didn't mean for you to see that. What are you even doing out here alone? It isn't safe.
about that.
I was worried about you. Do you want to talk about it?
I see.
Caden, you don't have to do that. I don't want to burden you with my worries.
About that.
We're a team, Caden, and a team helps out their teammates so we can succeed together. Caden, succeed together, huh?
Tell me about...
Why don't you try explaining to me what's going on? Caden takes a deep breath and looks around at the dead trees. He looks so
the
very
elders
pained.
at home always tell me I act too rashly. That I am too emotional when making decisions. And they were right. Look at this mess. The forest was ruined because I wanted to play at being the hero.
You were just following orders. Accidents happen. They can't fault you for that.
Caden laughs.
That's not... I am sorry, friend. But I haven't been honest with you.
Wait, who's surprised? I'm not surprised.
I wasn't sent by my people to solve this. In fact, they forbade me from going, predicting that something like this would happen. And yet, I went anyway.
I mean, given what you went through with Goldner, I can hardly blame you for not trusting us at first.
You are way too forgiving. I deceived you in order to hide my mistakes. But even that failed miserably. The sword is broken. There's no hiding anymore. I never had the right to wield that blade. I took it, thinking the end result would be worth breaking a few rules for. I was arrogant, and this forest paid the price for my foolishness. I cannot return to my people in such disgrace. I honestly don't know what to do from here.
I mean...
You can't just keep wallowing in your own self-pity. You made a mistake. Well, so does everyone. But if you want the people at home to forgive you, then you gotta work for it. Be someone they can be proud of, if you want them to accept you.
You are right. Of course you are. I cannot give up now. They say rock bottom is a sturdy foundation. Thank you for making me see that all is not yet lost.
Caden smiles and places a hand on the wounded tree
I will
trunk.
fix this mistake. One step at a time. I will right these wrongs. Thank you.
I might as well romance him too. Okay, not that. Not that.
I'm happy I was able to help.
You smile, and Caden blinks down at you for a few moments, flushing slightly red, and then he turns away with a cough, shifting to look out into the dark forest. Apparently, blushing on him turns his blue glowing things to purple, which makes sense.
Anyway, I think we should head back now. Mime has been hiding behind that tree for a while now. It must be uncomfortable.
Wait, you knew I was there?
Your appearance isn't exactly nondescript, is it?
Look who's talking.
The three of you return to the shop to rest.
Mime, about the forest. I'm truly sorry.
Caden, you know I don't blame you for any of that.
But your home, I destroyed it. Took it away from you. I can never repent for...
Sure you can. We're all here because we're trying to fix things, right?
Even so, I'm still sorry.
I want cool glowing marks too. Now, this is what I learned back in college, okay? If you take Tide with Bleach Alternative and you draw on your body, it's invisible until you go into Black Light Land. Because Bleach, and I guess Bleach Alternative, glows under black light and really, really prettily. And because it's like detergent with alternative bleach, it doesn't like burn your skin or anything. It just makes you black light reactive in a pretty neat, cool way. I mean, or I guess you can cover yourself in cat pee, but the Tide is somewhat less bad. Okay, so I think this is for the flower shop. You approach Anne, who is looking deep in thought, poking away at the broken sword while Caden watches over her nervously. Yeah, it's so basically bleach is blacklight reactive. And yeah. If you're gonna do it with the kids, honestly, I would like Google for instructions, because you can dilute it so it's even safer. Like, I don't know how old your kids are, but so it's like it's even more safe to, you know, put on your skin and near eyeballs and mouths, and children lick things, whatever. So I'm sure the internet has instructions on what the kind of useful formula there is. Alright, so Caden's watching Anne look at the sword.
Please tell me you are being careful with it. Some of those tools look rather sharp.
Yeah, 6, you know, I don't know if the 6-year-old's a licker, but I spent a big chunk of my undergrad working at the university's daycare center with fours and 5s mostly. And dear God, those children licked everything. Like everything. Everything went into their mouths. I don't even understand. It was weird. Children are bizarre.
I am being as careful as one can be with an audience breathing down their neck.
Sorry, but can you really blame me?
How old's the oldest?
You are handling my people's heritage like it is a piece of scrap metal.
Right now, that's all it's good for, isn't it?
She has a point.
I'm trying to salvage what I can, but unless you give me the room to work and fix it, the sword will stay broken and useless.
Yeah, 14 is probably also like the licks everything stage, but I think perhaps the reasoning for the licking is different.
Things can have a value even if they are broken. You know?
No, they can't.
Okay, Anne, you're stuck. You're stupid. Please don't fight. We're all on the same side here.
Lethera's mercy.
Well, you say that, yet the Outlander keeps breathing down my neck as though it will single-handedly dismantle his civilization. Caden, fine. I'll try to give you more space. Yeah. Teenagers are, like that. Anna, won't you keep an eye on her and make sure she doesn't go overboard with those tools of hers?
About that.
I'm sure Anne will be careful, won't you? You shoot the mage a look, and she sighs, pinching the bridge of her nose with her gloved hands. Yes, I promise. Now let's get down to business. Since you're here, I might as well go through all of what I've discovered so far. Ooh.
Okay.
Sure, tell me all about it. Caden. Oh no. And my pleasure. So Caden's definitely not lying when he says this is a powerful magic artifact. The material used is unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's almost as if it's alive, pulsing with tremendous power.
I wonder.
Does that mean we can use it to repair the rift in the seal? And I'm fairly sure, though I must admit I'm loath to use it. This is not legal magic, that much is certain.
How does this...
Okay, to be fair, the magic in the locket is also not legal, Anne. I honestly do not understand the human politics surrounding magic. I've studied the map... Oh, Anne. I've studied the map of the mines we found in the mansion, and I'm confident that my initial theory holds true. The seal we're trying to fix is much larger than any of us could have predicted. The sword itself, despite its power, wasn't enough to fix it. So even if I managed to fix the sword, it still wouldn't be enough to solve this problem.
Really?
There has to be another way. Well, we just learned
I
it.
may have found a way to solve this issue. But our fussy Outlander friend is not going to like it.
What?
The sword in itself is not powerful enough, but if we were to combine it with the spirit locket and tap into the power of the demons you have sealed away, maybe even add a few more, I think that might just be enough. I'd have to destroy the remains of the sword to repurpose it into a suitable component to fit the locket. And I'm fairly sure I won't be able to, how should I say this, put it back the way it was when we're done.
You're going to destroy it? Absolutely not. No way.
I told you you weren't going to like it.
Look, I do not care anyway. The less I work on this thing, the better, honestly. We could just use more demon spirits instead of relying on the sword. We have to capture those demons, of course, and make sure our alchemist isn't killed in the process. Caden looks away in silence. The sword would put us ahead, and I was under the impression we were under strict time schedules, so... Caden, what do you think? Caden sighs and looks to you. Ooh.
About that.
The sword is yours, Caden. I can't possibly begin to understand what it means to you or your people. The decision is yours to make. Anne looks away. Caden seems startled by your answer.
Why would you...
I'm surprised you could trust me with such a decision. Anne does make a valid point. If it will stop this unspeakable evil from spreading, I suppose the sword does serve a better purpose in her hands. Just please allow me to continue witnessing the process. Anne, well, fine, as long as you don't get in my way. Actually, this might work out brilliantly. I can't reach half the stuff back here, because Quinn stacked it so high, but you, my tall friend, have just been promoted to lab assistant. What? As long as you don't suddenly promote him from assistant to subject. Anne, can't promise anything.
By the gods.
Maybe I'll just stop by from time to time. Clever choice.
So, you brought the alchemist back to life and somehow linked your souls together in the process? How?
Mostly by accident, really. I was trying to help and it just sorta happened.
Fascinating. If I wasn't preoccupied with my current project, then looking into this spirit resurrection could be another viable option. I'm certain plenty of high-ranking nobles would be interested in procuring such research. However, I suppose the side effects might be too much, even for them.
Side effects? Oh, wait, you're talking about me? Gotcha.
Okay, so we can talk to Caden at the market and at the flower shop. Well, let's go talk to Caden at the market, I guess. You want to talk to Caden, but you can't find him at Anne's, and he isn't at the shop either. It's getting dark, so you search the town for him. Town square is empty, so you sigh and continue on. You don't get that far before two guys walk up to you, intimidating sneers on their faces.
Hey, you!
Well, if it isn't the alchemist. You've got some gall showing yourself out here after all the trouble you've caused. Breaking and entering at the boss's estate, stealing from us workers.
You'll pay for that!
We're not getting paid this month thanks to your little stunt.
Actually,
Take a moment and think. Why would I steal anything from you? Everyone needs coin. Everyone knows you and the boss had a row because he's working to put your magic folk back in your place. Stealing the worker's salary is low, even for your kind. So we think it's only fair you get to share some of our pain. They close in on you. You square your shoulders, fire in your eyes as you face off against the mine workers. But you're but a noodle-armed alchemist, and once the first guy swings his fist, you barely see it coming before it connects with your face and you see stars. You land on the ground with a pained yell, your whole face feeling like a ringing bell, and you can taste the blood running down your split lip. That was perhaps not the right choice to make. Puny potion maker can't even handle a pat on the head. My turn then. You instinctively curl up, waiting for another strike, but when the blow lands, it isn't on you. What the hell? You squeeze your eyes open to see the two mine workers fall. Above them stands a large shape, hard to make out in the dark. Your vision is still swimming, but you feel them help you upright, a cold hand on your face tilting your head this way and that to look at the probably massive bruise forming.
Talk to me. How are you feeling?
You blink in surprise, your vision swimming into focus on a familiar but glowless face.
huh?
Caden, your face. Caden's face is devoid of any emotion. Caden, I'd be more concerned about your own face for now. There's something off about him. The glow from his markings is dim to the point of not being there, and his voice is dull, like he isn't quite there either.
Look.
It isn't safe here. Let's go back to the shop. You don't argue with him as he guides you back down the street. He doesn't speak another word the entire walk. He leads you back to the safety of the shop. It's quiet. Everyone's already retired for the night. As soon as you're inside and the door behind you is safely closed, Caden lets out a relieved sigh and you watch, stunned, as the color slowly bleeds back into his skin. He winces, as if it was painful.
I wonder.
I've never seen you do that before. Caden, that's by design. I'm not keen on using it.
Look.
I don't use my training as a night walker often. However, you were in danger, and I wouldn't have been much help to you if they noticed me.
Tell me about...
What What's a Nightwalker?
Well,
They're a special group of warriors trained to protect the mountains from danger. They tend to do that by staying hidden and gathering information. They got their name because one of their key skills is to be able to hide the glow of their inner light. For an Ijoma, that is a rather unsettling skill to possess. Our understanding of emotion is tied to the glow just as much as facial expression or tone of voice. In order to turn off the light, you need to feel nothing.
So,
And you can do that? You're a Nightwalker? I never completed my training, but I can make my glow disappear for a time. Not that I would ever do so willingly.
once you are in that state, it is like a void. And in order to get your glow back, you must reconnect with your emotions. But if you spend your days in the dark for too long, one can forget the things that make you feel. It is not sadness, not anger, just an absence of emotion.
Ah, they become Vulcan.
And it is a very frustrating thing to not be able to remember what made you happy, what made you sad.
So, depression?
I've been in that place. It took everything in me to return. And once I did, I quit my training. I was too frightened to go back to that place.
what do you mean?
What were you doing outside? It's dangerous, was Goldner's men wondering about.
Really?
I should be the one asking you that. I at least have some means to defend myself. But you, what would you even have done if I had not shown up when I did? Right? Like, it sounds like, because one of the ways that I've had depression described is you cannot pull up like what it was that used to make you happy, and like you've lost any connection to that. So it does sound like that's what he's describing. It's interesting. Oh god.
Huh?
Wait, were you following me? What? No, I mean, I've been observing the streets at night for a while now to keep track of Goldner's men. I want to find some way to be useful to our cause now that the sword is broken together with our original plan. So far, I've learned nothing useful.
So,
Does Victoria know about you sneaking around in town at night? I'll take that as a no, then. You remain silent, and Caden sighs, running a hand through his hair.
Look,
I know these nightly activities are risky, but I couldn't just stay here and do nothing. Now that Anne has taken the sword, the only useful thing I'm capable of is scouting in the dark, but it appears I can't even do that
a
much.
true Nightwalker would have been more useful, but I am not that.
A sudden feeling washes over you as you observe Caden struggling with this. You feel a warmth spread in your chest. Oh my god. That's useful.
about that.
You saved me back there. I think you're incredible just the way you are. Caden blinks, clearly taken aback by your confession, and he looks away, hiding his face from you with his hair.
Thank you.
That is very kind of you to say. I must have lost my head a little there, sorry. It's late. We should get some rest and continue our mission tomorrow with fresh minds.
I'll be here if you need me.
Good night. The two of you part ways to go rest.
So you lied to us.
I'm sorry for the deception. I did not have my people's blessing to come here. But everything else that I have told you about the seal and the artifact has been the truth.
Why would the Outlanders want to keep this a secret?
We do not meddle in the world, topside. Our elders believe the mountains will keep us safe from the Empire. But I disagree. The demons don't see borders. If we don't stop this disaster at the root, then eventually, my home will get wrapped up in the conflict as well.
So, you disobeyed orders.
You judge me? I was under the impression that you had been cast out from your original order as well.
You and I are nothing alike.
I think we're a little bit alike. I guess let's go back to the flower shop. Anne's workshop is startlingly quiet when you return. You find the mage not busily welding together new metals, but instead leaning against her desk, reading what appears to be a letter. What are you reading there, Anne? Oh, hello there, Anna. Didn't notice you come in.
It's a letter from my brother, informing me that one of my father's associates has gotten a permit for a court mage, and insinuates quite heavily that I should give up my foolish endeavor and come settle down.
She folds up the letter and throws it on the table dismissively.
He's an idiot if he thinks I'd settle for a life as a pathetic court jester. But you've got to admire his tenacity. I didn't think his couriers would be able to find me all the way out here.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by court jester?
So,
You know how towns have to qualify in some way to be allowed to have a mage move in? Well, some noble families got tired of their offspring ending up all over the empire, so they rigged the rules so that big estates or courts could qualify as a town, too. So mage children from noble houses go to the academy to learn pretty illusion magic, and then return home to live off of their family's wealth as entertainers. Why would I ever want that for myself? Spending the rest of my life humoring a bunch of corrupt nobles. What a joke.
Tell me about...
Tell me about your father's associate. When you frame it like that, it sounds rather sketchy. Well, that's because it is. I love my father dearly, but I'm not a fan of how he uses our family's power to bend the rules to his will.
Huh?
You have a brother?
actually,
I have two, actually. Older brothers, both of them. And we don't get to see each other much for obvious reasons, but Marcus likes to write to keep me up to date on the Hoffman family's latest shenanigans. What about your parents? Don't they write to you as well? My father is too busy playing politics to spend much time on family matters. He does send the occasional extravagant gift as a way to mend the tear. She chuckles and taps at the gemstone brooch holding her tie together. My mother and I have a complex relationship. We don't talk much.
Tell me about...
Your father is a politician? It is his passion. The Hoffman family has always held high standing among the elites of Eridos, but my father's ideals have been shaping the entire region for a generation now. Eridos has a history of being rather conservative in its views on magic. My father changed that, tipping the scale towards a more open approach. He has done amazing work, so I excuse him for being a rather absent parent in my life. He would never have been happy if he'd had to put that part of his life behind him. He sounds like a great man. And he really is.
I wonder...
What are your brothers like?
so,
Orion is the oldest. He's been following my father's footsteps into politics, but I honestly don't think it suits him. He's too gentle for that type of work. It doesn't matter, though, since he's the heir and is going to be set for life no matter how his political career goes. He got married last spring. I've never met his wife, but Marcus writes that she's sweet, so I'm happy for him. Marcus is different. Easily excitable, but with the attention span of a small fish. My father's a patient man, but even he's growing tired of Marcus never sticking with anything for more than a day. The one thing that does seem to keep his interest, though, is keeping in touch with me, which I appreciate.
Really?
Your family is wealthy?
My excessively long name didn't give that away?
The Hoffman family is one of the oldest noble lines in Eridas. It's of no use to me, however. I escaped that circus when my mage abilities were discovered, much to my family's chagrin.
That's great.
Sounds to me like you have a loving family who cares about your future a lot. I know, which is why I'm more frustrated than mad at Marcus for writing to me, really. I know he's just trying to look out for me, but he's doing it according to his ideals, not mine. Despite his efforts, that's the one thing that will always separate us, the fact that I went to the academy and have experienced life as a mage when they have not. They will never understand. They can't. In a way, I think you understand me better than they do. We might not see eye to eye on some things, but you have at least experienced the same as I have, and have chosen to support me even if you don't agree. That means a lot to me.
I'm glad.
I'm glad that's how you feel, Anne. I want to be a friend. Anne, friend, huh? She tastes the word like it's almost foreign in her mouth. I've never had a whole bunch of those, but for you, I think I can make an exception. So come on, friend of mine. I need an assistant for some heavy lifting, and I think you've just volunteered. Sure, I can do that, no problem. Probably. You spend the next hour helping her move stuff around the workshop.
To hide behind a smile. It's such an odd topsider phrase. I never quite understood it. But I think I might get it now.
Pardon?
There are those among my people who wish to hide the glow of their markings. Not to stay hidden, but to hide certain emotions they might not want others to see. Hiding your light takes years of practice. So, some instead burn brighter, latching onto one specific emotion and using that light to obfuscate whatever might really be there. To hide behind a smile. It's interesting to know topsiders do the same thing.
I feel oddly attacked right now.
Good, Michael. Alright, I guess we go home. I guess let's go look for demons. That sounds like a fun thing to do, right? Victoria is already waiting for you in Mime when you leave the alchemy shop, and she gives you a curt nod when you approach.
Are you two ready?
I mean, as ready as someone can ever be going on a demon hunt. How are we going to find them? So far we've just stumbled upon them in
How
town.
about that?
Normally we'd ask around. Demons have a habit of leaving a trail. But given how anxious the townfolk are, we better start with simply patrolling the area. If a demon is nearby, either you or I should be able to pick up on it. Okay, gotcha. Well, let's go on patrol duty then.
Mind if I tag along?
Michael comes out of the shop wearing his usual lazy grin, and Victoria glares at him suspiciously.
Michael, I swear.
Just what are you planning? Nothing too nefarious, I can assure you. I thought I might lend a hand and sate my curiosity as to how a former demon huntress works.
You could call it a personal interest for self-preservation.
If I tell you no, then you're just going to follow us around anyway, correct?
Sure thing.
You know me so well.
Fine.
Fine, stick around where I can see you.
I see.
Nothing out of the ordinary here. Nothing here either. Everything is normal. Ugh.
This is it.
Hey, we can't give up yet. We've still got places to look. We've been all over town. I don't think there's any places left for a demon to hide.
I can't believe this.
It seems our earlier run-in with Ronan has made the remaining demons cautious. Won't just mindlessly attack like before, leaving us without any leads.
Really?
You think Ronan and the demons might be working together? That sounds really dangerous.
Look,
I've never experienced demons working together. They're vengeful creatures only out to fulfill their own sick desires.
Oh, really?
Shows just how much you know about spirits, then. Hello, Lurk. You are welcome to lurk anytime you want. Alright. Shows just how much you know about spirits. Explain yourself, mage.
Look,
Demon is just a term we in the Empire use to describe a spirit that has lost its way and become distorted. There are, however, many types of spirits in the world. Many who work alone, but some who don't.
I wonder.
Please continue.
thank you.
Hi, Albie. How are you? Thank you for popping in. We are talking about demons in Arcadia. So, you know, good stuff. Alright, Michael. You see, spirits can generally be divided into 4 different types. First, we have our common nature spirits. They vary in size, but are usually connected to things like old trees or larger bodies of water. Friend just dropped off pottery I painted for my birthday. Ooh, that sounds pretty cool. Did you put pictures somewhere where one can see them later? Because I want to see pottery. I'm doing okay. I am doing a little bit of streaming. I got a bunch of knitting done this afternoon, and I made delicious tofu with mushrooms and bell peppers, and I added a lot of extra spicy peppers to it, so it was spicy. So, like, life's good in that regard. And I'm hoping to get some more knitting done tonight, and also some software design as well, because I'm me. Alright, let's see, where were we? Let's see, so they're connected to old trees and larger bodies of water. Then there is the Fae, simple creatures quite reclusive since the Empire once hunted them almost to extinction. Mirages are quite interesting. They're beings created by powerful emotions. Ooh, yeah, I want to see pictures of pottery. I knit all sorts of things, but right now I'm working on a mystery knit-along shawl that's called As You Wish, and it's based on The Princess Bride, and they've been putting out clues once a week, and the last clue actually came out yesterday, but I'm behind, so I'm finishing up clue number 4 so I can start clue number 5, which is the one that came out yesterday. It's gonna be like a pretty long rectangle shawl that's like about maybe this wide, and it's got a very patchwork appearance to it, but I'll put a picture somewhere on Facebook when I'm done, but I tend to mostly knit like shawls and stuff. There's some sweaters, some scarves, socks, the usual stuff. Yeah, it's been pretty hilarious, because like there's been stitches like wine goblets and iocane powder, or the cliffs of insanity and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. Oh no, bad phone is bad. It's okay to not lurk also, like one is not required to lurk, but I'm sorry your phone is being a butt. Let me see if I can actually maybe usefully show what I've got so far. This is like, work in progress land here. So this is, you know, my ends are not woven in, and it's on the needles currently. But like, this is a little bit of, oh, let's see if I can do any of it like visible, despite my background here. I'm like looking at what it's showing. So it's that kind of long shawl right now. But yeah, that's where we're at currently with it. The background makes it a little bit hard. Okay. Blood pressure meds. I know I have to take you, but stop making me cough. It is, but it's also like basically knits and pearls and some yarn overs. So it's not very difficult or anything, but I love making things that are complicated looking but are like simple to do. So thanks. Glad you like it. So like, I've been thinking about it, and I got that second camera, which I still haven't set up, but, like, I keep thinking knitting is boring to watch, because, like, it's really repetitive, and I tend to, like, watch a media while I do it, so I tend to do stuff like watch other people stream while I knit. Alright, let's see where we get with this demon hunting here. Alright, so mirages are beings created by powerful emotions. They are rarely powerful and don't possess much agency or will, but the more stubborn ones have a tendency to latch on to the place of their birth, like an echo lingering in places of great happiness or sadness. And finally we have ghosts. The spirits of mortals persist in this world for various reasons. Given the numbers and the style of our interactions with them so far, I would guess the demons we've encountered at the moment used to be ghosts.
I can't believe this.
Victoria, that's absurd. We'd know if a group of humans have been trapped underground like this.
Look.
I never said it had to be human ghosts.
Are you sure?
Mine creepy. Victoria, this is ridiculous. Such fairy tales will not help our situation. Michael, do with the information what you will. My point was simply that if my theory is correct, and these demon spirits are connected, if they died together, say an army or a family, well then, there's a good reason to believe that they're working together towards a common goal.
So that's how it is.
Victoria, and what goal would that be? Michael, not a clue.
Of all the...
Victoria, you are the worst. I am betting that their common goal is actually to break the seal. And or destroy the mine. Maybe they all died in the mine collapse or something.
So...
There's still so much we don't know. We need more information.
If you want information about obscure old legends and the occult, I've got just the guy in mind.
I find that highly suspicious.
But do you have much of an option?
Where does T
I swear, Michael, if you brought us here to get drunk, I will...
What is this, Michael? Back for another story?
A strange man walks up to your group, his thick round glasses gleaming in the candlelight as he glares pointedly at Michael. He seems familiar to you.
I might be. We're in a bit of a predicament, and I believe you have just the hints we need to move forward.
You know the rules. No spoilers.
remember you. You're the bard who was telling stories to the kids in the town square.
Ah, yes. I remember you seem to be quite enthralled yourself. I appreciate an attentive audience. I believe we have not yet been introduced. My apologies. You may call me Rune. I am a bard who lives to tell stories, and tells stories to make a living.
The Guild of Bards is an ancient group of performers and storytellers. They guard over many of this world's greatest secrets. Getting them to tell those secrets is the tricky part.
Every story can be told. For a price.
You don't happen to have any stories about this area?
Of Anemone Valley? Quite a few, actually. But from the way you ask, I suspect you are referring to something a little more specific.
Demons.
Rune raises a brow, glancing Michael's way.
I see.
Are you able to help us?
I think I know what you're looking for. But are you willing to pay?
We don't have a lot of money, but I'm sure we can work something out.
Spoken like a true diplomat. You're an alchemist, right? What about a potion in return for a story? I used to know this alchemist in another city who made a glasses polishing remedy that would last all day. No smudges, just clear eyesight.
Oh goodness, I want that.
I'm
potion.
all out and won't be going back for quite a while. Bring me something like that, and I'll share my knowledge.
The bard leaves, and Victoria sighs, crossing her arms over her chest.
I can't believe this.
Guess we'll have to drop by Elizabeth for this. How troublesome. You're complying with his request without objections? I've seen you shake down for less eccentric personalities for information. How come?
About that.
I'm kind of curious as well. I was sure you were going to draw your sword on him.
I don't handle every interaction with violence.
You do, though. You really do. Victoria glares at
About
you
that.
hotly. I'm not not so foolish as to antagonize the Guild of Bards.
How curious.
Huh. I didn't take you for the superstitious type.
So,
Has nothing to do with being superstitious. It's a well-known fact that you play by the rules of those protected by the patron of the arts, or you face the
That
consequences.
seems odd.
I'm so confused. What are you guys talking about? The patron of storytellers, the Nightingale, an old god who's known to be rather mischievous towards those who wrong his charges. Once, a farmer in my home village refused to let a traveling bard seek shelter for the night in his barn. A week later, his fields flooded, the barn burned, and the road he used to reach the village was mysteriously overtaken by dandelions. The accidents only stopped after he went and made the proper sacrifices, asking forgiveness for his wrongdoing.
Well,
These could all just have been coincidences, though. Right, you believe that. I am not about to put it to the test.
Well, isn't this neat?
Well, I for one find it very encouraging that even a knight of the Empire respects the wrath of the old gods. It makes you seem less like a military drone and more like an actual person.
Michael, I swear.
Oh, sod off. Let's move on. Guess you're off to make a potion.
You know, when I first saw you, you seemed rather intimidating. Almost like a taller Victoria.
Oh, really? That's quite a compliment. Victoria is a formidable warrior.
Yeah, well, I realized quickly that you're nothing like her. You seem tough on the outside, but one can't scratch the surface much before realizing you're quite soft.
I'm Soft?
Like a big, glowing jellyfish.
Okay. I guess let's visit Elizabeth.
Welcome back.
Hello there, Anna. What can I help you with?
So,
We've got an odd request. A cleaning potion that keeps a pair of glasses clean all day?
How curious.
That is indeed an odd request. I thought you were hunting demons.
about that.
That's the plan, yeah, but we need this potion to get to
I
that.
see.
Running errands for someone, are we? Seems like a job of a hero hasn't changed a bunch since my youth. Yeah. I had this grand plan to romance Victoria, but like, fuck that. I think I'm all going for Glow Jellyfish Boy. It's such a specific request, though. This is most curious.
Huh?
Why is that curious? Because I actually know of just such a remedy. One of my friends long ago wore spectacles, and I spent weeks perfecting a potion so she could... Well, that's not important. It just strikes me as incredibly lucky that your patron asked for this one specifically. I can show you how to make it easily, however. We need some special ingredients?
Yes.
Right. You should be able to get what we need from Quinn. Yeah, right? He's such a sweetheart. He's so bashful and unsure of himself, which is literally the best thing ever. Do say hi to them for me. Okay.
I'll be off then.
Very well. Take.
All right, let's go.
Didn't think you'd be superstitious, Victoria. That's rather disappointing.
If you're talking about the fact that I trust Rune because he's a bard, that has nothing to do with superstition. Just common sense.
It's not common sense to trust the words of a complete stranger.
You trusted me, didn't you?
Yeah, it is. It's super
Well,
endearing.
That's different. You're a knight.
And I trust Rune because he's a bard. It's that simple.
She makes a valid point.
What can I do for you today?
So,
Elizabeth sent me for more supplies again. We're making another
What do you
potion.
need?
Let me see what she needs. Quinn looks through the list and frowns. I'm getting some interesting orders from you lately. I have some of this, but I'm afraid I just sold my last lilies right before you came in.
tell me about...
Who bought them? It was a young boy who came by to
boy who
purchase
came by. Light hair, red eyes, a general look of lost puppy.
Hmm.
Really?
Oh, that sounds just like Kim, doesn't it? Where did he go?
So that's how it is.
Saw him heading out of town and into the forest.
Let's go!
That's great.
Take care.
That seems terrible. You and Mime head out into the woods to search for the lilies Queen sold. You search for a while before stumbling upon a small clearing with a couple of modest graves at its center.
Think he's around here somewhere?
Alchemist, what are you doing out here? And is this a spirit?
About that...
Kim, I know what you're thinking, but I need you to keep this a secret.
Are you sure?
But spirits are illegal, right? Is she like the one that possessed Ronan? Don't worry, Mime's a nice spirit. She's helping me search for your brother, actually, but we're But you're right, she isn't supposed to be here. So do you think you could maybe keep this a secret? Please? Kim's first face turns a dark shade of red and he looks away, rubbing his neck. I guess if it's for my brother. I mean, you don't seem like a bad spirit, so... Thank you so much.
I'm still surprised to run into you out here. Not many folks come along this path anymore.
Really?
And then what are you doing out here?
Oh, well, you see,
Kim holds up the bouquet of flowers with a sad smile.
I'm visiting my parents.
He motions to the graves in the clearing, and Mime deflates.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be. They died when I was very young, so I don't really remember them much. For all my life, it's been Ronan who's taken care of me. He doesn't like coming here, though. He says it's a waste to cling to the past like that, but I don't know. I heard that putting lilies on a grave allows you to connect to the dead buried there. I was gonna ask them if they could help me bring Ronan back.
I see.
Right. Excuse me. Kim walks over and sets down the flowers by the graves. He then folds his hands and whispers a soft prayer.
Okay.
So, Althros, or any Paragon who has the time, please bring this message to my mom and dad. I wish for you to help me guide my brother back to me. Please and thank you. He nods, satisfied, and walks back to you. I did it. Hope they heard. Anyway, I should get going. Good luck on your quest.
And it was really nice meeting you, Mime.
You too. Kim rushes back to town, leaving you and Mime alone in the clearing.
So...
Come on, Mime. Let's go.
Huh?
But what about the flowers? The potion? What will you do?
About that...
We'll return to the bard and explain things. I'm sure he'll understand.
Are you sure?
That's asking a lot, but we can give it a try, I suppose.
Ah, so you have returned. Did you succeed in your little quest?
About that...
I couldn't make the potion for you. Is there something else I can get you instead?
Now, why would I ever do that?
Well, that would certainly be entertaining. I think you have provided plenty for me already.
What?
I have a certain fondness for long, intricate quests that culminate in tough moral choices.
How interesting.
It was quite fascinating seeing which path you took, and the ending? Just captivating.
What?
You followed us just to see what we would do? Goddess, no, I detest running around. The sparrows told me what you were up to. Quite the little adventure you went on. So what kind of hero did you turn out to be?
Let's see.
One who finds allies in the oddest of places. Yet you didn't use that to gain what you needed. Valuing your friend's happiness over the mission at hand?
Perhaps...
A noble thought, but essentially useless. Tragic heroes are the ones who insist on trying to make everyone happy.
A deal is a deal. One story for another. Well then, let me tell you the legend of the Forgotten Library. Anemone Valley has always had a myriad of legends connected to it. The Crystal Ore Underground has given life to many a tale of spirits and wisps. And so it was no wonder when a group of mage archivists settled down in the valley to study it. They blended in among the townsfolk, quietly conducting their research, eventually settling down, starting families. For many years they worked in peace, but any great historian can tell you how inevitable the great wheel of time turns peace to war. The Empire had wasted years engaged in a foolish conflict in the north, and their failures had been chronicled diligently by archivists stationed at the border. Eventually, someone realized that rewriting history was easier than winning the war. But that's a hard thing to do when a bunch of dusty academics enjoys writing books. The Archivists of the Valley recognized what was about to happen and chose to bury their life's work in a secret vault underground. The Forgotten Library. Legend has it that chronicles of history, long since lost to time, remain intact in those sealed halls, waiting for someone to discover their secrets.
I bet that's linked to that hallway secret entrance out of asshole dude's house.
As for the Archivists themselves, they vanished overnight, taking with them all evidence of them having lived here at all. No one has seen them since.
A library underground? How would it even be possible to keep something like that a secret?
If there was one thing the Archivists excelled at, it was keeping secrets. Blood and legacy spells were a specialty of theirs. It wouldn't surprise me if only those with the blood of an Archivist may be allowed to enter that place. Quite exciting, no?
The blood of an Archivist?
Michael.
But that is it for my stories tonight. I think you have all the pieces you need to proceed. Have fun.
Rune leaves, and you turn to follow suit when something blue catches your eye at his table. Innocently illuminated by the candlelight lays a bundle of sky blue lilies.
Come on.
Really? He had these the whole time? You pick up the flowers and leave. You enter a tavern to find Michael sitting in his usual scene. Rune sits on the other side, smiling pleasantly.
And then the merchant ran through the town without his trousers, yelling about demonically possessed ducks. It was a blast.
You do know, Michael, as much as I love these stories of yours, they are not going to pay off your debt. Even with the rate of chaos you enact, you would have to live 10 lives to make it up.
You say that to discourage me, but I am only hearing a challenge.
Your hero's tale will end in tragedy. You can try to laugh it off all you want, but the path you're heading down, as someone who begrudgingly still considers you a friend, it concerns me. Why can't you let the past go?
You should know better than anyone that the past holds the key to the future.
No one can look into the future.
Maybe I'll be the first then.
The bard lets out a heavy sigh and empties his glass.
I pray that what you find won't kill you, or worse, break you.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Hi.
Hi, Michael. Are you okay? That looked like quite an argument you two had. Oh, that? Trust me, we were being civil. These discussions of ours usually end on a much harsher note.
But in truth, he has every right to be mad at me.
The bards have a strict rule of not revealing secrets the listener hasn't paid for in full. Their deity is quite adamant about that one. Every story has a proper price, and some can be quite pricey. I may have gotten a little too much for the price I paid him once.
Huh?
Can't you apologize and pay him back what you owe?
Huh.
Knowledge is one of those things you just can't take back. Secrets are more secure than any physical riches, honestly. No one can steal them from you. As for the apology, I still stand by my decision. Rune understands that, even if he doesn't agree. Michael's expression suddenly turns somber and he looks away from you deep in thought.
That's just how it is.
I made my peace long ago with the type of man I've become. Does it repulse you to know a person like me? There's a genuine curiosity to his question, and you search your heart trying to figure out what you think about the wild mage.
Well,
I'm sure you have your reasons for choosing the path you have. I still respect you for what you have done for us.
Huh?
Can't say I expected that answer, but maybe I should have. You are quite the curious little hero, after all. Makes me feel very grateful that it was your adventure I got myself tangled up in. Speaking of our dear Bard, did you complete his request? What did you think of his story?
about that.
He mentioned something that made me worry. Michael, are you possibly an archivist?
I see.
Ah, so he gave that away, did he? I shouldn't be surprised. He's always been good at getting what he wants while staying within the limits of the rules.
I suppose I owe an explanation. Look.
To be an archivist, much like any other school of magic, is not an exact science. Any mage can become an archivist with the right training, but since most of their spells involve retracing history using blood, being blood of the family gives certain perks. I never knew my parents. I was too young to register what happened during the cleansing, but I carry their blood. That makes me an archivist as well, even if I never trained as one.
So,
do you know anything about your parents? There was not much left after the Empire went on their mad crusade against the bookkeepers. I have later learned through others that they were both archivists working together at a research facility outside Eridos, but that is all.
well...
At least you know that much. That's more than other people get. A hollow comfort, given what history tells us happened to them. He sighs and looks off to the side. They didn't deserve to be executed like that. They were doing work for the Empire, and then from one day to the next, they were hunted like beasts. All those people.
What do you mean?
You mentioned some kind of research facility.
Let's see.
Right. Archivists were a bit different from other Academy mages. While tinkerers and herbalists would set up individual shops, archivists were assigned to libraries where they would work together to collect and document. Sometimes these libraries would become all-out research facilities, where mysteries would be uncovered through years of hard work. And to ensure the safety of such valuable research, the Coven of Mages often guarded it jealously behind legacy spells and enchantments.
Really?
What's archivist magic? How is it different from what Quinn and Anne can do?
Here.
It all depends on the individual mage, honestly, but a general theme for archivist magic is that it connects us to the past. Some were able to see glimpses of past events. Some could commune with the dead. Fancy little tricks like that. Usually spells like that require blood as a catalyst, another reason why people were wary of them.
I wonder...
The bard told me about a hidden library underneath the town. A library only an archivist can enter. Sound familiar?
Did not expect that.
So it is true, then. It really is here, of all places.
Oh.
If you knew about all this, why didn't you tell us? Don't you trust me? Now, don't you look at me like that. Those sad puppy eyes of yours should be criminal.
First of all, I didn't know the library was here. I had an inkling, which may or may not have influenced my decision to come here.
I wanted to learn more about what my parents worked on, but after my little dispute with the bard, I didn't have anyone to guide me on where to look.
About that...
You could have just asked, you know.
Oh, really?
Well, yes, now I could have, but back when we first met, I distinctly remember a sword being at my throat, so excuse me for being a bit hesitant to share this. The library will surely hold the information we need about this town's underground, possibly even the tools to fix it. So what if I get something out of it as well? It's a win-win deal, no? I guess we continue to be understanding.
Okay.
I understand why you did that. Let's go and find the secret library together.
Thank you.
Thank you for understanding. You leave the tavern. Yeah, I definitely am now definitely sure it's the passageway out of Asshole's estate, because it opened only when Michael tried to open it. Okay, let's try to make that potion.
Welcome back.
So,
I see.
Okay. Question is, where did I put the link about... Oh, there it is. Arcadia Fallen, all the things. Alright, so... we want... eyeglasses cleaner. 1 rose, 1 blue lily. Begin by adding blue lily to the left ring and the rose to the right ring. Mix the middle counterclockwise. How do I do anything counterclockwise? Like everything turns only in one direction. Oh, this way. Okay. I guess I can right click. Mix the left clockwise.
Another discovery!
Yay. There's still new potions for you to discover. Perhaps you should come back and try to fill it out later.
I'll be off then.
Very well.
Oh. No.
What can I do for you?
So,
About the wilted forest.
Anne has already filled me in on the failed ritual.
It's quite unfortunate, but it explains the results I got from the soil earlier. The life of the forest was simply sucked out, and the earth was left barren. I'm afraid nothing will grow there for many years to come. Oh no. That's sad.
I can't believe this.
That can't possibly be the end of it. There must be some way to fix it.
Actually,
It might be possible to use nature magic to return life to the soil.
I've never actually tackled such a large-scale project before. It's quite a bit out of my jurisdiction, so to say.
That's great.
If there's anyone who can do it, it's you, Quinn. I'm sure of it. I appreciate your confidence in me.
All right, I'll give it a go. What's the harm in trying?
Could use your help, though. There are some alchemical potions I'm familiar with from back at college that might speed up the process.
I'll do it.
I can help out. What do you need?
Thank you.
Okay, so what do we need? I suppose for the base of the spell I could really use a strong fertilizer. Do you think you can brew some of that for me?
Okay.
I just found... What do we need for fertilizer? 1 daisy and 1 blue lily. Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Just swing by whenever you have the potion, and then I'll get started.
I've gotta go.
Take care.
Alright, let's go do it.
Welcome back.
So,
Quinn has requested some fertilizer. Any idea how to brew it?
I see.
It should be possible to use the ingredients we already have, though you might have to resort to trial and error to get the right mixtures. Next time you come to me to practice your alchemy, try out some different combinations and see if you can discover it. Okay, well,
so
I see.
now let's practice some alchemy. Okay, fertilizer. 1 daisy and 1 blue lily. That's a daisy, right? 1 daisy and 1 blue lily. Oh, I bet it's the one we don't know the name of there. Oops. Nope. Mix. Okay. Is that what we want? That is what we want.
Another discovery!
Done for now? Very well.
I'll be off then.
Very well.
What can I do for you today?
I did it!
I managed to brew the potion you needed. You rummaged through your bag for the vial and handed over to Quinn.
Oh, this is perfect. Shouldn't have expected anything less from Elizabeth's star pupil.
Aren't you the Elizabeth's only pupil? Guess I've got no excuses now. I'll get to work on the spell at once.
I've gotta go.
Take care.
Okay. Let's talk to everybody at home. Mime is hanging out in the back alley, sitting on top of a crate, looking up at the clouds passing by.
Hey, you. Did you need a moment to calm down, too?
It's been quite a ride so far, hasn't it? I'm so exhausted.
Are you okay?
How are you holding up, Mime? You look rather shaken. Well, you know, just coming to terms with the fact that we just did a heist on a mansion. It's a lot. I still can't wrap my head around what happened to the forest. A failed ritual just sucked all the life out of it. Just what kind of magic is hiding beneath us? I also can't help but wonder why I was spared. One moment the forest was there, and in the next I woke up alone. My memory's pretty fuzzy, but it's kind of weird, right? I agree. That is odd.
About that.
And I just have this feeling, you know, that all of this is connected somehow, and it's just so frustrating not to know. Mime jumps down from her crate and starts pacing back and forth in front of you. It's just, I feel like my head's about to explode. Demon prisons, possessions, and secret libraries. We've learned so much, but I'm only more confused, and we still haven't gotten any closer to finding a way to get you and me separated.
So...
We'll find the answers, we just have to keep looking. Right, you're right. I just hate the state of not knowing, you know?
Well...
The key to all of this seems to be the spirit locket. I mean, if you can use it to seal demons away, then it obviously makes sense you'd be able to unseal something as well, right? We can't very well go and try unsealing the demons in the locket, though. Victoria would not be happy about that. I wonder if unsealing a spirit is similar to exorcising a demon. I mean, we know that exorcism is bad since people will, well, die. But what if there was a way to just gently let the spirit leave, no ripping souls into pieces. If we could do that, then there might be hope for Kim's brother, too. No way Ronan's gonna show up and offer to be our guinea pig, though. But you know, I actually have a crazy idea.
What do you mean?
What kind of idea?
About that.
What if I tried to possess you, and then you could try and remove me? You think that might actually break the bond?
You see,
Honestly, I'm not sure. But we might learn something if we try, and that should be reason enough, right? Oh, God.
Let's not.
I'm sorry, Mime, but doing this is simply too risky to try when we don't know anything about the outcome. You're right. It was a silly idea. Sorry for bringing it up. It's not like we don't have other things to worry about right now.
Actually...
The idea wasn't bad per se, it just isn't a good time to try it right now. It's okay, Anna, you don't have to do that. I get it, so let's just go back to work, alright?
you know, Victoria, when you and I met, I was pretty scared.
Was?
Okay, I'm still scared, but now that we're all a team working together, I'm not as scared anymore, and I want to help. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not running away anymore.
Mime. I'm glad. We're still not going to have a team name, though.
Oh, come on!
You find Victoria in the alchemy shop, looking through the papers she found in Goldner's mansion. You move to approach her when a familiar sound rings out from her pocket. Victoria sighs heavily and pulls out the orb of communication. In a flash of light, Alethea appears.
Victoria, do you have something to report?
I do. We've traced the origin of the demons to the crystal mines.
What?
It seems the mine, or more precisely the ore itself, is part of an ancient demon seal. The mining activity in the area damaged and freed the trapped spirits. It also appears that the owner of the mine himself knew that this was a risk, yet he continued his business undeterred.
A demon seal, then. How unfortunate.
You knew?
I had a feeling. When our people first started reporting demon activity in the area, I knew there was a crystal mine in the vicinity. That's why I sent you to investigate, and not just some common scout. Regretfully, this isn't the first incident like this the Knights have had to deal with.
If there are more cases, then we should halt all mining activity immediately. At least until we can determine if more mines hold seals like these.
You know very well that if we did that, the entire continent would descend into chaos. People are dependent on these crystals. The few demon outbreaks we've experienced have been handled swiftly and discreetly by our agents.
I really don't like her. Even if she did have a tumultuous affair with Elizabeth.
I expect the same from you.
And what if this isn't just a few demons? We've reason to believe the prison under Anemone Valley houses an army of these powerful demons. If the seal breaks...
Then you better see that it doesn't. For all of our sakes.
The image disappears. Victoria lets out a frustrated sigh and slams the orb down hard on the table.
Cursed politics.
Victoria? Are you okay? You really should stop eavesdropping on her.
About that.
You're right, sorry. However, please explain to me what I just heard. Victoria huffs, but is more annoyed with the situation than you at the moment.
So that's how it is.
It appears that we're not getting any help from the capital for dealing with Goldner. What a mess.
No doubt Michael's going to have a fine laugh about this.
That can't be.
So we're completely on our own then. I don't like this. This seems like something that should be handled by knights, not just us. We will get to the bottom of this, I promise. Whatever it takes, Goldner will face justice for what he's done.
This is...
Just what kind of knight would I be if I couldn't even right such an obvious wrong? You witness a rare glimpse of Victoria being vulnerable, and it throws you.
You see...
Sometimes, even if we try our hardest, things don't turn out the way we want them to. I still respect you, though, because I know you'd never give up. Thank you.
Alethea might have decided that Goldner and the mines can't be touched. I respect her decision, but that doesn't mean we can't do a little bit of digging ourselves. He will pay for what he's done. One way or another.
About that...
He won't get away with this. Victoria smiles at you gratefully. You get up and leave.
I'm jealous of your tenacity, you know. I stopped believing the Empire could change a long time ago. Yet here you are, fighting the corruption from behind the lines. You are stupid if you think your actions will ever change anything. But perhaps, if we had more stupid people in the world, things would be different.
Or maybe, if people like you took a break from spreading chaos in the world, I'd have enough time to deal with more important problems.
But where would the fun be in that? Be honest. You'd be dead bored if you didn't have people like me to chase around.
You are impossible.
The two of them need to get together.
Welcome back.
Let's
So...
try to make some shit up.
I see.
I'll just take a step back.
Okay. No roses and lilies. Okay, so let's try to make this, whatever it is. It's 2 sails and a 4. 2 sails and a 4. Let me get rid of all of that. Which ones are... Nope. 2 sails and a 4. Nope. that's not a 4.
Another discovery!
I made a glue bomb. Okay. And that was the glue bomb. Okay. Square 4, 4. Alright. What gets us a square? So, it gets us a square. And I think... Nope. Nope. Nope, I don't. Nope. You need... What did I say it was? It's a square and then 4, 4. So, square... 4. Square 4, 4.
Whoa, look at that!
A water bomb. Okay, what else we got in here? I don't think there's anything new to discover. Okay, Daisy to the left ring, Lavender to the right ring.
Well done! Lavender and lavender. Mix. That way, that way.
Well done.
That should keep us stocked for a while. Oh hey, maybe I impressed Elizabeth. Get the feeling if you were to catch her at the right time, she may be willing to share more of her past with you.
I'll be off then.
Very well.
Wonder when is the right time. You hear rummaging in the back and go to investigate. Elizabeth is leaning against one of the crates, staring at something in her hand with a faraway look in her eyes.
Oh, hello there, child. I didn't hear you come in. Must have been lost in thought. Yes.
I came back here to get some empty vials, but then I found this and I got sidetracked by nostalgia, I suppose.
What?
What do you have there?
I see.
I suppose you've never seen one of these before. It's an old love charm. Couples used to give these to each other during springtime. The swan and rose supposedly bring good luck in love and fertility. People don't use such things nowadays, of course. It steps a little too close to illegal witchcraft. It's just a cheap trinket, though, nothing magical about it, except for the memories.
I wonder.
Who gave this to you? Elizabeth pauses for a moment, letting her fingers run over the carvings on the charm before she smiles. Alethea.
What?
No way. It might be difficult to imagine. The Knight's commander can seem rather cold, but she has a romantic side as well. At least, she used to.
So...
what happened between you two?
It's not that simple.
Sometimes love isn't enough. Our worlds, our morals, they were simply too different. I don't regret that it ended, but I do regret whatever hurt I might have caused her along the way.
So...
I'm sure you tried your best to make the right choices. We all do, right? Hindsight is always so much clearer than the present, but that is life for you. You don't get to live as long as I have without experiencing regret or heartache. I still have the memories to keep me company. That is enough for me.
Tell me about...
What kind of memories?
I wonder.
It was springtime, and the valley was in full bloom. There were 5 of us attending the flower festival together. Not friends, but companions, much like you and your new acquaintances. Different people brought together by fate or chance to solve other people's problems. But in that moment, we had peace.
About that...
Where are they now?
If just...
I couldn't tell you, I'm afraid. Things happened, and we all scattered to the winds, pursuing our own ideals and dreams as young people do. I hope they're happy wherever they are now.
So...
Thank you,
Do you need help with those vials? That would be lovely. Thank you. The shop really is looking much better already. It's all thanks to your hard work, Anna. You should be proud.
I'll be off then.
Very well. Take care.
So we impressed her with our alchemy, and therefore she let us in on some more of her past. Let's save. Now it's time to search for a forgotten library. Although, I think, honestly, it's time to probably stop. I've been streaming for about 2 hours. It's 9:45. I think we will proceed next time. And for now, we will go to the title screen. Thank you for hanging out, folks. I had fun. I really do love this game. And here, have a little shout out. But thank you everybody who hung out. I really appreciate you, and I'll be back tomorrow, probably around 7:30, to work on chapter 3 of Scarlet Hollow, and I will see everybody later.